I made this video a week ago, not this exact one, but one exactly like it, and I decided to delete it when I got back home from Canada and Lake Tahoe after the new year. So today I'm recording the same video but differently, and I'm uploading it once again for a week later. So when you guys are watching this, I'm almost ready to come back to Los Angeles. I was gone for a total of 12 days or so in the last 2 weeks, which is the single longest time that I have ever been away from streaming and YouTubing in my entire life. 9 years. The longest previous trip / time away from the internet in 2 weeks was 7 days. And that's when I went to Germany. And so when I sit here and I say to you, man, the tone of this video is different from the one I recorded a week ago, you have no idea. I recorded a video about anxiety and everything about 5 hours before I got on my first flight, knowing full well that I had never done something like this. I was anxious that I wasn't going to have enough content for YouTube. The content that I was uploading wasn't going to be good. I was anxious to be away from stream. I was scared to see my subscribers drop. I was worried that people were going to, forget about me, and that I was taking so much time away that things were going to change significantly. And I can only say that I've had one anxiety attack in my life. And I'm always really careful talking about this stuff because I understand that everybody is very touchy-feely on the way that you portray these things. I don't think I've ever had an anxiety attack prior to that day. I'm going to be very candid with you. Like, I didn't eat for the entirety of the day before I left. I was shaking, whether it was from hunger or whatever, but I was I couldn't write down things that I wanted to do on the to-do list because I was just so nervous and anxious. I ended up going to bed at 9:30 and just shutting all the lights off and just not sleeping and just laying there because I was so anxious and nervous that I was going to leave for so long. And I know that this is probably not a bona fide anxiety attack, but if whatever that was, I hope that nobody experiences that because I'm not cut out for that. I can't deal with that shit. That was scary. I mean, it was. And the reason that I was worried is because, look, there's no other job in this world where you can just fuck off for 12 days, all right? I don't care what it is. There's no jobs in this world where you can just disappear without internet connection for 12 days. I mean, yeah, I have internet connection here and there, but only when we're at port or only when I was, inside a house in Lake Tahoe because we're on a damn mountain. There's no service up there. And I'm guilty. I feel so guilty, and I did before I left too, that I am, taking all of this for granted. Now, it's a very popular discussion right now is mental health and taking time for yourself and really making sure that you yourself are 100% before you try and do anything else. And I've always been in the camp that, hey, that's a great idea. However, I never felt like it's something that I needed to do. Because I live in Los Angeles, I know a lot of people ask this, man, it's so expensive. Why do you live out there? Well, it's because I feel like I get a good work-life balance. And I mean that because I can, get up in the morning, I can go to the gym, I can edit and record a YouTube video, upload it for that day, I can eat lunch, I can, stream for 5-6 hours, and then I can end stream and go to dinner because it's only 8 p.m. And then I can go out, I can see friends, I can do activities, and then we start the process over again. I can't do that anywhere else. I've tried living in Portland, I've tried living other places that weren't in a major city, and I can't do it. So when I say I'm guilty, it's because I don't feel like I earned 2 weeks off. I don't feel like I earned 12 days off. I just don't. And I feel like I'm taking advantage of my position, all right? Of my ability to create content for a living. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that say, Tucker, that's not true, or you deserve it, you totally earned it. I want to make it clear that this video is not me looking for comments like that or fishing for anything in the comments section. I, even now, halfway through the trip, am pretty fucking anxious that things are not going to go well. I mean, looking at your subscriber count is always a joke that everybody makes, on Twitch, but it's true. My subscriber number is the only consistent, really, variable that I have in my job. January CPMs on YouTube that you guys always hear about, those are trash. Coming off the best month of December, like, it's sponsorships come and go. The first quarter of the year is literally empty. There's never any sponsorships because everybody's trying to figure out their marketing budget. So it's tough for a content creator to say, hey, I know that a day on the internet is basically a week in real life and a week is basically a month, but I'm just going to disappear for 2 weeks, not really have any internet connection, and I'll come back up in the new year and we'll start it off right. It's tough. And I had to admit, basically, as I was on my way to the airport, that the unhealthy thing in my life wasn't my work schedule. It wasn't what I was doing on the day-to-day basis. Hell, it wasn't even the fact that I personally don't believe that I needed to take time off. Like, I was in a good mental state. I feel great. I was happier and more confident in everything that I was doing on the day that I left than I was last year at the same exact period. So it wasn't that. I don't think that, I have a bad or unhealthy lifestyle. I had to admit, though, that I'm a slave to the content creation anxiety machine. And what I mean is, I moved my family's Christmas a week up so I could visit, see my mom, see my sister, see my dad, see family members and stuff I haven't seen in a long time, but not have it so close to this giant fucking trip that I was going to be gone even more. I've been conditioning myself for at least the last 5 years that any day off is a bad day. And I stand by that, by the way. I don't think that that's a bad mentality to have, especially in a world, in an industry that nobody knows what's going on. Everything can change in a second. Your life could be flipped upside down and you could become ninja or you could disappear. All it takes is a copyright strike. All it takes is, an incredible game to come out that everybody wants to see you play. And so that volatility, that anxiety of not knowing what's going to happen next month, let alone yesterday or tomorrow, what's going to happen yesterday, is something that I had to admit and still have to, that is my problem. That is the unhealthy part in my life right now. It's the anxiety that does not let me enjoy any time away. And I don't want it to seem like I'm sitting here and trying to be like, oh, pat me on the back because I never take a day off. No, I genuinely have not taken a day off just for a day's off sake at all in the last 2 years while I've been in the city of Los Angeles. Every single day off that I've had has been because I'm going somewhere to do work, right? Like it's a sponsored event or I'm filming or doing, right? Or I'm not even in the city and can't stream anyways. And every single time I'm uncomfortable. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just there's something in the back of your head saying, well, you could be streaming. You could be working. I have not just fucked off and been like, I'm going to watch anime for 12 episodes today and do nothing. I don't really know how to turn off. And it's a really fun job to have where I can think of the next best stream or idea at 2 a.m, but also think of it on the other side. Like sometimes you just want to shut it off and not think about it, and it's always there. And so this is what I really want to work on. And that's why I finally went through with the idea of taking this time off. I called Cheney the day before we were scheduled for the 6-day trip to Canada, to Tahoe, and I almost canceled the trip. I almost was just like, fuck it, dude. Like, you really, I just can't do it. I'm not going to enjoy myself up there. I'm going to be miserable while I do it. I just don't have enough time. Nah, I stuck with it. And it was okay. I have to admit to myself, it was okay. Yes, the sub numbers went down. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right, Tucker. And that is the hardest thing for me. Even now, the first step that I took into my home when I got in at 10 p.m. last night was, oh shit, man, I got a whole lot to do tomorrow. I hope that people aren't upset that I'm leaving again, and I know that I'm going to let people down, and I feel guilty again because I'm taking time off. And no, shut up. Hey, it's okay. It's going to be okay. The idea that things are going to drastically change across, my entire working life in the 2 weeks that I'm, taking off is false. And I think that when I look back at the last 2 years of making content and stuff, I realize that a lot of it is driven by fear of having things disappear under my nose than it is about genuine joy for content creation. That's not to say that I'm not enjoying myself, because I really, really am. I mean, I've streamed more this year and made, more content that I'm proud of this year than I ever have. And that's a true statement. But I think that it's important for me to look at why I'm deciding to, stay up till 3 in the morning to edit this video. Is it because I really want this video to be out, or is it because I really don't want to miss a day where I'm uploading? Is this going to significantly affect my life one way or the other in a positive or negative light, that it's worth me, hurting the entirety of tomorrow because I won't get enough sleep, stream, etc., because I want to do this, I want to hit this deadline, and I'm struggling and probably will struggle even when I get back to admit that it probably won't. But in the back of your head, any day working is not, or any day off is not a day working. And in an industry that's so aggressively passionate like gaming, where there's always going to be the next Tim the Tatman, the next Ninja, the next Dr. Disrespect, there's always somebody who's streaming when you're not. There's always somebody who's filling the void for your viewers when you're not there. And that's not even a little voice, that fucking half of my brain is the one that I'm trying to beat down to maybe 30%, right? I want the enjoyment of and slight anxiety of trying to hit a deadline that I've set for myself without fucking killing myself to do it, because in my mind, I need to, or else things are going to go down the shitter. The fact is that this year, even after 6 days straight of not streaming, I'm still almost twice as many subscribers above where I was last year on Twitch. I have more subscribers on YouTube per month this month, even though I've done less work and in my mind taken more time off than last year. And I just really need to try and not be a slave to my anxiety that I am setting up for myself. And that is why I re-recorded this video, because my opinion and my perspective on this has changed incredibly in 6 days, and I'm truly hopeful that I can have it change even more aggressively by the time you're watching this video a couple days before I'm back. I'm happy to feel this way. I really am, and I'm surprised. So I'm gonna go on a boat for 6 more days with limited internet, and I'm going to be okay. And things are gonna be all right. And when I get back, hopefully I see an incredible change in, not just the satisfaction that I get from streaming and making videos, but also the ideas, the things that I want to do, the things that I can do. And I want to thank you guys for being part of that, and also giving me the opportunity to have a job where I can take such a long time to try and figure out how to separate myself from my work in an incredibly fun way. All right, I'm gonna have the time of my goddamn life, and you guys are the reason why I'm able to do that, afford it, and go and take this time away. So thank you, seriously. And hopefully, when I'm back, like I said, you guys will notice a much happier and much more creative individual. Let's start 2019 off right. YouTube, I love y'all, and I'll talk to you all later.